John, bonus episode. Episode 183 is here.
Oh, what a shitty number.
I know.
Nothing to associate with that number.
Nope. Not like last week's bonus episode. So, John, I think you'll like discussing this band, as I know they are probably your favorite newer-ish bands in the scene, at least as far as we're concerned. Or at least
Meet
as
Me
far
at
as
the
I'm
Altar?
concerned. No, actually,
Oh.
it's your other favorite band, Hot Mulligan.
Oh, Hot Mully.
Okay, yeah. And I want to bring them up because, for whatever reason, it seems like they've been getting talked about more and more. The band receives a lot of praise, especially on the Reddits.
Okay.
I, for one, as you listeners know, maybe not your newer listeners, but for the ones who've been listening for a while, they know that I haven't gotten into Hot Mulligan. And
We've been trying.
It's not a fault of theirs. It's me. And it's possible I haven't given them a good enough chance. I do feel like I listened to their last album all the way through. It didn't really resonate with me. But I saw something on Reddit this week, John, and I'm going to read the Reddit post.
Okay.
That was good.
Thanks.
Uh-huh.
I got a lot of phlegm going on in here.
The Reddit post is this. It's labeled, I finally get it. And this is the In the Pop Punkers subreddit. So posted, I finally get it. And here's the body of that post. It says, Hot Mulligan is obviously blowing up in the scene right now. I tried them a few times, but didn't jive with it. Mainly the vocals. Gave it another shot, and it just kind of clicked. And now I really like them. So they ask, acquired taste definitely feels like it describes them. But I get it now. I guess they didn't ask that. They just said. So it got me wondering, John, do you think Hot Mulligan is an acquired taste? Do you think maybe I need to give it more time?
I think people that don't have a tendency to kind of like, post-hardcore or hardcore music just because there's a little bit of an edge to it, probably wouldn't get it.
So you think people who don't like post-hardcore wouldn't get this?
Not immediately wouldn't jump to Hot Mulligan as
Okay.
something they'd like.
Sure.
And I think there's an element of early 2000s and even pre-2000s emo to it as well. So you kind of have to have
I could see that.
a feel for all of that to kind of understand what they're trying to do, I think. Because it's kind of an amalgamation of all those things at once. So that's why I appreciate it. But I think maybe to somebody that was younger and not so familiar with the other kind of subgenres that they're pulling from, probably don't get it. And then you really have to dive in a little bit deeper lyrically, try to figure out what they're singing about. There's a song on the new record called Smacked My Head Off or something like that. And they have weird album or song titles, of course.
Yeah.
But I'd listened to it several times and didn't realize he's singing about an elderly relative that's dealing with dementia.
Oh, my. Okay.
And it's a really deep song.
So you can appreciate
once you kind of
the
dive into the
lyrical
lyrics.
content.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay. So somebody had mentioned, and I'm going to say too, like, I think what did it for me, like this Redditor, I think it was the voice, like the singing voice of, the lead singer. And again, I'm not knocking him at all. It's just, the first thing that usually grabs me when I'm listening to new artists is the voice for whatever reason. Like it's got to be something that just hits me, and not everybody's voice works for everybody. So I'm not knocking him. He's a great singer. I'll agree there. I'll say that, but it doesn't. I'm not captured by that, I guess. So somebody mentioned too, after they saw them live, they loved them. So I'm wondering if I need to see them live or maybe watch a YouTube video of them live. You've seen them live, haven't you?
I have not.
You have not. Okay. Were you going to?
I thought about it because they were in St. Louis.
St. Louis, that's right.
But
Okay.
I didn't want. I felt like I would be the oldest person in there by a lot, and I was just a little self-conscious.
I don't think you would. It sounds like they have younger fans and older, emo fans. So I don't know. You should give it a go. Next time they're in St. Louis, maybe I'll just go with you.
No, I will say they can write a guitar hook. I mean, there's very hook-laden songs.
Yep, I'll agree there. I did like some of the riffies that they.
Yeah, and they're not
laid down.
necessarily like lyrical hooks. There's a lot of musical hooks
Yes.
within the songs, which is, something that's not as prevalent as it once was. So
Sure,
finding
yeah.
ways to do that don't sound, old.
Right.
Pretty impressive.
So this Redditor said it's an acquired taste to him, but he thinks he gets it now. So let's go through some of the comments. There's not a lot here, but I'm curious to see what other people say. So it says, and this is interesting too. This person comments, how much you enjoy Midwest emo is probably a good predictor for whether or not you'll enjoy their style right away. And I think this is interesting. John and I, we grew up in the Midwest. Would you say that Fall Out Boy has that Midwest emo sound? Are they the ones that...
No, I think they're
wouldn't-
referring to some smaller groups from.
Okay.
I mean, there's a lot of it it continued on, but a lot of it starts late '90s.
Okay. And
And then I think Park, a band from our area, is kind of informed by that a little bit.
Okay. So I ask because I know Fall Out Boy is from the Chicago area. I definitely liked Fall Out Boy when they came out, like a lot. Loved them. But I don't know that I like Midwest emo. And I think that that's interesting because we grew up in the Midwest. You'd think we would have been surrounded by it. And we were, but I never really resonated with it. And I only brought up Fall Out Boy because I didn't know, if I liked it or not. I assumed I didn't, but Fall Out Boy was different.
Yeah.
To me, had a different sound. So I was just making sure
I
that
feel
they
like
didn't have that sound.
they kind of come from the hardcore side of things rather than
I think
the
so.
emo side.
Right.
A band like American Football is one that comes to mind for me with
Yeah.
Hot Mulligan, just the guitar work anyway, from that first American Football record. And that's definitely an acquired taste. But,
I didn't get into them either.
Earlier Jimmy Eat World too, kind of, even though they're not Midwest or Southwest, but it kind of is in there too.
In that area.
Yeah, and early Get Up Kids is East Coast, but there's just a difference to the Midwest sound that's kind of hard to explain. It's just the way that it's really a guitar sound to me.
It
more
is.
than anything. It's
I
usually like a
noticed-
clean kind of overlaid guitar parts and things like that.
Yeah, it's a certain approach to the musical writing, I would say. But still, it's hard to explain. But I think that nails it right there. So somebody else says, I agree they're an acquired taste for some. I was hooked immediately, but my first time hearing them was live. Have you checked out their Basement Sessions YouTube video? Maybe I need to check that out.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna
That's
check
one of
that
the
out.
first kind of live videos I saw of them playing. And
Yeah, because dude, like I like to get into the scene. Like I want to, you want to be able to like everything you hear, but and especially when a band is gaining traction. I keep hearing this. Hot Mulligan's gaining traction. They're getting popular. All this stuff, and I just don't see it. So I just feel like I'm missing something. So I got to give them a fair chance, I think. So somebody else says, I had a similar experience. I think seeing them open for Knuckle Puck might have helped, but they're on my favorite bands right now. Also, guys, Knuckle Puck released a song a couple weeks ago, which was actually this week. We're just recording it. Definitely check them out.
sounded like they have a new record come out same
Yep.
time as Blanks also. So
Yep. So a couple more comments here. I didn't care much for them early on, but I've stuck around and tuned into each release and can say they definitely have evolved over time. WWIW is very accessible and a nice gateway to get into the rest of their stuff. Is WWIW...
Why Would I Watch?
Is
Yeah,
that's the most recent one?
yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay. Somebody said, I've tried a couple times. I certainly don't think they're bad, but it's not for me. That's kind of how I feel. Might try to catch one of their shows, though. They sound fun, and I've had a live experience influence how much I like a band. They do seem like a fun group of guys. Just the way one of they got some stupid humor when it comes to the song title stuff, so that they're probably a good bunch of guys.
Videos are usually goofy.
Yeah, right. Oh, are they the ones that had the one where they're at like the car dealership selling a car or some shit? Wasn't that them?
There's one where it was like wrestling based that was pretty good.
Oh, yes.
One of the newer
yeah.
songs.
Yeah. And then finally somebody says, never really dig them. Saw them a few weeks ago. Still didn't dig them. And now I love them. Kind of annoying, but I'll definitely be catching them again. I think he means kind of annoying as in it's kind of annoying that he didn't like them, now likes them.
Sure.
So definitely going to catch them again. So maybe they're one of those bands you just got to see live, which is quite the what's the word I'm looking for? It's just quite the quality to have, I think. You know, like, I think that says a lot about you as an artist, and says a lot about your talent and your approach to playing music.
Well, I think being able to pull off everything live that you do on record makes an impression on people.
And it really makes you, appreciate what they're doing a little bit more. And I could see that would make you more of a fan. Like, you take Green Day, for example. They have great songs, but you go see them live, you're going to be even more of a fan than you were before, just because they know how to put a show on. Blink-182 is probably the same way. You can appreciate the records, but then you go to a show, they may not play as well as those records, but the show they put on is just so good. You have a good time because you're laughing, they're telling jokes and all that stuff. So there's definitely different approaches to live shows that can make you more of a fan of that band. And it sounds like that's what Hot Mulligan has their own way of doing things. So
Hot Molly.
So I am going to give Hot Molly another try this week. That is my homework. I'm going to listen to the new record. I'm going to pull up those YouTube sessions.
I would put on the EP too that kind of came between the last two full lengths.
Okay.
So I think that's pretty strong too. It's got featuring Mark Hoppus song is on there.
Yeah.
That's probably their best song, to be honest, to me anyway.
Okay. I love, first of all, the marketing that they do. Are they the ones that had the song featuring Michelle Branch or something? Like,
no, it was one of her song titles. It's like the song is
by
Michelle Branch, but the featuring Mark Hoppus song title is just, it's pretty funny to me.
Yeah.
Just because there's like a 2-year period where it seemed like everybody had a song featuring.
Yeah. So. It made so much sense. And I think that's just genius. Hats off to them. So, all right, guys, I think everybody's homework. If you don't like Hot Mulligan,
my hat on.
If you guys don't like Hot Mulligan, let's all do ourselves a solid. Let's listen to the most recent record. Let's listen to the EP that was before this record, like John says, and let's check out the YouTube sessions that somebody in the Reddit comments mentioned checking out, and let's see if our opinions change. And I feel like, John, next time they're in the Midwest and coming to a show near us, we should just go check them out.
All right.
And then
it's a date.
And by then, if I don't like them, then I just know that it's not for me. But I'm going to give them a damn chance, because I got to get on board with everybody else. I think I'm missing something. So that's how I feel. All right, John, that'll do it for this episode. So, John, close us out, buddy.
Thanks again for listening to this bonus episode number 183. Please check back for our weekly podcast material that we release weekly every week.
Weekly every week.
That's right.
All right. You good?
Yep, that's it.
All right.
That's how I close them out.
That's it. All right, guys.
Short and awkward.
See you later, dudes.
It's like my lovemaking.
All right. I'm closing it.